friends, friendship. What is that, man? You know, your friends, for a lot of you, are people that you grew up with. You know, and they know you pretty well. They were there, man. They saw it all happen. They understand you. Similar background, similar place and all that. But for those of you like me that moved around a lot, it's a little harder. It can be a little harder. And then as you get older, it gets harder to stay tight with some people. I'm lucky, like I've got a lot of friends from all over the place. Even though I moved around a lot, I still am connected with people from a pretty early age. Social media helped that. I was talking to a buddy of mine the other day, Shakin' Steve. He's in his early 60s. He's a pretty cool dude, rock and roll guy, pretty wild life. I've known him since the 1980s. We were both DJs. He's not a social media guy. He just got a smartphone years ago, not that long ago really, where he can like access the internet. He doesn't do it. The only thing he does is he'll watch some YouTube, and but that's about it. So he'll knock social media. Oh, you know, 800 friends. Nobody's got 800 friends. Well, when I was talking to him about that the other day, and I was like, well, you know, I do. It's not about Facebook. That guy in particular, and you know people like this, they never went anywhere really. Like, he did a little bit when he was younger, but later in life, not a lot of it. It's fine. Not judging that. One is not better than another. There's an argument to be made that you're better off keeping your circle small, you know, a lot less drama. But the other way to avoid the drama is to select your friends properly. You know what I'm saying? Once again, I'll mention the jiggling on the camera. It's because you're on a dash mount that moves a little bit, and the streets in Los Angeles is like driving through Beirut in 1982. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, you know, I do have a lot of friends that are all over the world, really, and I speak with a lot of them regularly. So you might not hear from me personally, like in a phone call, if we're friends, for a while. But that doesn't mean I'm not talking to other people. I can only do so much of that, right? When you think about it, this guy was stupid. He was totally blocking. That was really dumb, man. Really dumb. Just block the lane so you can get out. I was just talking to my sister on the phone. She was driving in Patterson, and she had 3 near misses. 2 people blew stop signs, and 1 person pulled out right in front of her. It's just us. I think it's the family. Dark cloud. This is dark energy cloud trying to take you out, man. I know a lot of you feel that way. So anyhow, yeah, I know people and talk to people all the time, and I can talk. So those conversations could be pretty long. But one of the neat things about social media is that, and I'm on Facebook, but I'm not on it. Like, I used to go on my computer every day and look at Facebook, but I think I've mentioned this before. I can't remember what the password is. I can't get into it anymore. I can do it on the phone, but I don't like doing it on the phone because it's tiny, you know. So anyhow, the neat thing is, though, is that I can see all my friends. I can scroll through real quick. I see what everybody's doing. And that can make your phone conversation a lot shorter, which is nice. Because I could say, oh, hey, I saw your kids doing this now or that now. It's great, you know. So then we could just jump to the meat and potatoes of the conversation, our relationships, where we're at now. Because we can get all the small talk doesn't need to happen as much anymore. Because a lot of us are sharing our lives, at least enough of it, on social media to where it's like, okay, we all know now. And it does reduce the amount of phone conversations, too. You could just do a comment and a like and be like, oh, congratulations, or that's awesome, or good for you. And now you'll notice what I just did there. It's all positive. That's it, man. You should be uplifting your friends, and you should be supporting your friends to a point, right? So there's a thing about that. A good friend should not let their friends get away with too much of their own bullshit. Okay? That's a good friend. There's got to be some tough love there once in a while. But you got a friend who's drinking too much, whatever, you owe it to them to tell them that. Like, we should all be helping one another. We should all be trying to uplift one another. It's not always so easy. Somebody posted a meme the other day. I'm going to butcher it, but it was basically, blaming everybody else. Like, it's, if your loved ones abandoned you, it's because they were using you, that sort of thing. Like, because if they really loved you, they'd still stick around. That's a weird one. That could be true. That could be true in certain circumstances. More often than not, when people are abandoning you, it's because of your bullshit. There's only so much BS somebody could take, man. And a lot of you don't realize. You don't realize what you're putting everybody else through. Nobody likes a complainer. I've said it before about myself. I don't like listening to myself complain. If I hear myself say something repeatedly, and it's along the lines of complaining, then I hear that, and I make a change in my life. That's just me. I don't expect everybody else to do that. But imagine if we could all just do that. Some mental toughness there, some mental discipline. So, yeah, what else with your friends? If you've got good friends, close friends, they should always be trying to get you laid. That's a little joke. I tell my friends that all the time. Oh, man, I want to go to this swap meet, but I got a late start because I was talking to my sister, and now I can't find a parking space. All right, I guess you'll listen to me friggin' blather longer while I'm driving around this godforsaken neighborhood here. So, actually, I was talking to a friend of mine the other day. She's awesome. I love this girl. We've been friends for a long time, and she has gone through some dark times. As a matter of fact, I'll share something with you. This is how I know, because, like my buddy I was talking to the other day, love this guy, Jersey guy. He lived in Florida when he was young for a bit, did some traveling, but he's a Jersey dude. He's in Jersey now. He's been in Jersey pretty much his whole life. And Jersey, there's an attitude there. It's a little on the negative side, so you'll get things like, and I get this from a lot of my Jersey friends, you can't help anybody. You can't. Oh, this spot right here. Oh man, this turned out awesome. I'm actually way closer. So you'll get this thing from Jersey people where they'll tell you, like, you can't help anybody. Like, it's a waste of time trying to help somebody, trying to help them get past their BS, Yeah. But I can't help it. If I consider you a friend and I think you're fouling up, I'm gonna do what I can from time to time. I can't. I got my own life too. But I remember with her in particular. This is some time ago, and she was in a real bad thing. I'm gonna put this thing in my windshield. The neat thing about the tinted windows, you put one of these up, and you cannot see in here. So I gotta get a new one. I was talking to Sabo about it. You ever see the picture of or the sun blinder here, where it's got that photograph of Star Wars from the Millennium Falcon, where the whole cast is in the cab there? Well, I talked to Sabo about this because he's got a giant printer, and you guys have seen the logo. Oh, it's right here. So in the van here, there's a Sasquatch driving with a little alien next to him, a little gray alien, big giant head there. I wanted to like get a picture of this front seat and then have a big Sasquatch crammed in here and the little alien over there, and have that printed on one of these protectors there for the window. It would be kind of cool. Anyhow, back to my friend. So I was on Facebook. Again, this is years ago. And she was being real negative, and I called her, and she was really not good. Cursing, everything's negative. Bad. Really bad. And I gave her a little tough love, And I try to uplift her a little bit, you know, and then all that. And then several days went by, and she reached out to me, and she told me that I kept her from killing herself. She was going to kill herself that day. So, yeah, that's not the first time, by the way, that somebody's told me that. By just talking to me, it took the pressure off, and it kept them from killing themselves. So, yeah, you can absolutely have a positive effect on somebody. It's a double-edged sword. Going back to even when I was a kid, I just had this thought of this guy, Albert, this fat kid, redheaded, freckle-faced, fat kid that had this voice like this when we were like in second grade, you know, first grade, second grade. And he was bigger than everybody else. And people picked on him, made fun of him. And I felt sorry for the kid. So I walked home with him one day, and I remember going in his house, and his mom was shocked. It was the first friend he ever brought home. The problem with that was I got multiple stories like this with these kids. The problem was then you can't get rid of them. You know, when you're nice to somebody, and you're genuine, and I'm like that, then it's you know, it's like they think that instant, I would still be friends. But your time, like, think about that. That is the one negative about having too many friends. Like, how are you supposed to get on with your own life if you're talking to all these other people and listening to all their stuff and trying to help everybody else out? That might be the root of what I'm doing here, because I don't know why I'm doing this. I feel compelled to do it, but it might be that right there. I figure I can reach more people with this stuff. Who am I? What am I? You know, you know. I was just going to say, I'm no guru or anything, but I know a guy, Chris James, really great guy, black guy. He's got cerebral palsy. He's older than me. I've told his story before. I might tell it again at some point, but it's a really good story because I kind of helped him. I'll tell that story another time. But he has a whole life now, you know, just because I was nice to him one day. And it got him into this whole thing. And he's a great guy. But he would always call me the guru because I would give him this sort of like matter-of-fact advice. So I guess I'm not a guru like some certified dude that's written a book on it and goes out there and, you know, does seminars and you know what I'm saying. I'm not a Tony Robbins. Well, would that be interesting? You couldn't handle it, man. You couldn't handle it because I would be up there on stage telling you, pull your fucking head out of your ass, you know, get a hobby, you know, exercise, reduce the stress in your life, cut out the negativity. like the tough love seminar, man, you know. Most of you couldn't handle it. So anyhow, I was hanging out with this friend of mine the other night, or no, I was talking to her on the phone. I was making this, actually. I was stitching this thing up. And she cracked some teeth in her mouth. And so she's got to do this thing where she's got to have her teeth fixed. And she said, you know, I'm thinking about doing implants. And there's been this ongoing joke with her. Now, look, she had a life. Okay, I'm not going to reveal too much. But she was a stripper for a huge part of her life when she was younger. But now, look, she owns her own house. She raised a family, you know. She's a good human being, but she's been through some tough stuff. You know, she's tatted up and everything. She's very funny. She talks like a friggin' sailor. And, you know, she's had her issues with substances and everything else, okay? So we were just talking, and I make these, you know, dick-in-the-mouth jokes all the time with her. Well, it wouldn't happen if my dick was in your mouth, that sort of thing. And we have this funny rapport. It's like a bro. She's like a bro. And she says to me, and this is the definition of a true friend. She says to me, well, you know, Mike, if I have to have my teeth removed, if I decide to go down that route, to have my teeth removed, to have implants put in, she's like, well, I'll blow you without the teeth in my mouth, just so we could both say we did it. That's the definition of a true friend. And I'm just going to leave you with that. So you guys have a great day. Be good to one another. And, you know, I'll catch you guys in the next one.